Hey, I'm Tanner Kalina. Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. Got my palms up behind me. So we started off this Lent with a weird tradition of putting the ashes of burned palm branches on our foreheads. And today we're nearing the end of Lent with another weird tradition of waving around palm branches at Mass. We're weird, and I'm absolutely here for it. Also, y'all, next week I'm gonna hound the nicest slice of carrot cake that money can buy. Basically, my entire week's salary is gonna go towards carrot cake. It's gonna be glorious. So this Lent, maybe you've been making yourself more available to God. Maybe you've been encountering Him anew. Maybe you feel a spark of freshness in your spiritual life, or maybe you've just been going steady and you feel like God is constantly close no matter what you feel. Regardless, it takes us just 3 days to forget about God's work in our lives and allow the worries of the world to drown out His voice. Look at the Israelites after God parted the Red Sea and freed them from Egypt. It took them just 3 days to begin complaining to Moses in the wilderness. God just freed them from the most powerful nation in the world. He proved Himself time and time again with crazy miracle after crazy miracle. But it took them just 3 days for the concerns of the present moment to trump their trust in God. Look at the crowds we hear about in today's gospel reading who rejoice over Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. They cry out for joy. But these are the same crowds who later this week will turn against Jesus and cry out for Him to be crucified. In a matter of days, they completely 180 on Jesus. And then look at Jesus' 12 closest friends, His apostles. These men stuck by Jesus' side for 3 years. They saw Him perform miracle after miracle. But as soon as He's crucified on Good Friday, they go into hiding. And by Easter Sunday, they're all huddled in the upper room together, save Judas, terrified for their lives. It took them just 3 days to forget all that Jesus had done. More than that, though, it took them just 3 days to forget who Jesus revealed Himself to be. 3 days. It takes us 3 days as well to forget about God's work in our lives. We can get caught in the frenzy of life in 2025, and that closeness and proximity that we felt to God can slowly be swept away by the tasks and responsibilities of the current moment. We're human, and our memories are only so strong. I harped on this back in the second week of Lent, I believe, but the act of remembering is an important one for the spiritual life. But we can only remember if we're intentionally praying. So if we're not intentionally carving out time to sit in silence and recount God's work in our life, then God can do the most miraculous works in the world in our lives, and we'll inevitably forget all about Him. It happened to the Israelites, it happened to the crowds on Palm Sunday, and it happened to Jesus' closest friends. We're no different. And this is why the church spends 40 days intentionally preparing for the Easter season, and then another 50 days celebrating the Easter season. It spends 90 days every year intentionally remembering God's work in the Paschal mystery. And so today, my brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you to spend some time recounting God's work in your life, all the big ways and small ways, and plant them like anchors in your mind that you can always go back to. 1 week away, y'all. Come, Holy Spirit. God bless you.